Here on the Bourne Braves post-game show, Tomahawk Talk. We have a packed house here at Durham Park alongside James Nahikian, Ginger Polson, Sam Hyman. I'm Kerry Crowley. The Braves 6-2 victors over the Orleans Firebirds tonight. They got another great start out of Jimmy Herget. He goes 6 innings, giving up just 1 hit, 7 strikeouts. James, he was the start that the Braves needed tonight.
Incredible start from Jimmy Herget tonight. We always talk about how whenever Ryan Kellogg pitches, it's win day. Well, whenever Jimmy Herget pitched, it's almost no-hit day. Because last time he faced Orleans on July 17th, 5 innings, no hits. Today, 6 innings, 1 hit. He was unbelievable. And with the stage he was set on tonight, with the Braves only leading the West Division by 2 points and the Cape League by 1 point, it was a phenomenal outing from Jimmy tonight.
Well, the last 2 times that Jimmy Herget took the hill for the Bourne Braves, the Braves lost 7-0 ball games. One of them coming against Orleans down at Eldridge Park. He's just not had any run support this year. Tonight, Ginger, a completely different story. The Braves pick up 3 runs in the first 3 innings, 1 run in each of those 3 frames, and it started with Richie Martin and Mark Laird both extending their on-base streaks back in the first.
You know, Kerry, that's one of the things that we talk about, the importance of being able to come out early and put some runs on the board and what it does for the pitchers. It's one of those things that we've seen with this Braves pitching staff throughout the year, that when the offense really is productive early, it helps them out. It gets them a little bit more calm. And it was a big game, so it's easy to take a little bit of the pressure off of Jimmy, and he certainly responded quite well. I mean, you look at that 6 innings, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts, just 1 hit. You got to be impressed with that, and you got to be impressed with the offense for being able to help him out with some there so that it wouldn't just be on his shoulders.
Well, it wasn't just Martin and Laird setting the table for the Bourne Braves tonight. Sam, Blake Davey with another home run, his second in 2 nights here at Durham Park, and this one was a shot.
Kerry, he's been so consistent all season long, back-to-back nights with a solo home run. He's now hit safely in 10 of his last 11 games. Davey's been on a tear, and that ball probably about 420 because it was hit all the way to the football field here at Upper Cape Tech High School. So it's good to see Davey, a guy in the middle of the order, providing that run support because the top of the order has been consistent all season long.
Last night, Davey hits one over the right center field fence. Tonight, he goes out to left center. I don't know what he could possibly do for an encore. The guy just has so much power right now. 5th home run of the year. He really stepped up. The Bourne Braves 6-2 victors, but they did not cruise the whole way. In fact, in the 7th inning, the Braves hit a little bit of a lull. Dylan Nelson loaded the bases, James, but like he has done all season, Nelson found a way to get out of a critical jam.
You're right, Karen. He pitched himself into but out of trouble in that 7th inning. 5-run game at the time. You get a couple hits there with the bases loaded. It's a 2-3 run game. Dylan Nelson loads the bases but strikes out the final 2 batters of that inning to get out of the jam and to preserve what was at the time a 5-run lead for the Braves.
And then, of course, Harvey Shapiro turning to Joey Strain. Nelson allowed 2 runs to come in. Strain comes in the ball game, and he slams the door in the 9th inning, as he always does, Ginger.
You know, Joey Strain's ability to come out and truly be a closer for this team, it's almost like a no-doubter when he walks out onto the mound with his everyday walkout song and just gets ready, warms up. I think everyone kind of has a sigh of relief when he enters the game because he's been that good for the Braves. He only had 1 blowed save, a game that the Braves ended up winning. There's nothing more that you can say about him except for the fact that he's just been consistent, and it really helped out. I mean, tonight's just proof of what he can do on the mound.
Last night, the Bourne Braves fall 5-3 at the hands of the Falmouth Commodores. That narrowed the lead in the division to just 1 game for Bourne, so they faced a must-win tonight. And Sam, they came out against the Orleans Firebirds, a team they've already defeated twice this season, with first place on the line, and got the job done.
It was huge to get the job done because last night after the loss, as you mentioned, just 1 game up on the Falmouth Commodores. Bourne Braves have led the Western Division all season long, which is a pretty interesting stat to note. But against an East team, a good bounce-back game. To play an East team, a group that Bourne has dominated against. They've beaten East teams a handful of times, and they got another one tomorrow against the Chatham Anglers. So this is a good spot for Bourne because after Chatham comes Wareham, and then Wareham to round out the regular season. Bourne is in a good position to win the Western Division.
All right, plenty of options for our players of the game tonight. James, I'll let you kick things off.
Jimmy Herget, 6 innings, 1 hit. There's not really much else you can say about him. Just a dominant start. Huge for Jimmy Herget, who's probably scheduled to throw that 2nd game of the playoffs.
Slim Jim came up when they needed him most. Tough to follow that pickup, Ginger.
I'm going to go with one of you guys' favorite picks for something else. We do our bullpen picks. I'm going with Brian Serven today. He really came up and had the game that he needed to have to get confident going into playoffs, going 2 for 4 today. And I think that's exactly what the Braves need, seeing different bats heating up at this time of the season. That's how a team really prepares themselves to do well in the postseason.
Brian Serven a big double, and then followed that up with a bloop RBI single. Sam, the third player of the game, your choice.
Blake Davey. Back-to-back games with a solo home run. He's seen the ball very, very well, and it's good because Bourne needs run support from the middle of the lineup, and he's a guy right behind Xander Wheel. That 1-2 punch, 4 and 5, really good, and now 3 and 4.
Well, so many different Bourne Braves contributed tonight. I would apologize to the families of Richie Martin and Mark Laird because they both extended their on-base streaks. Richie Martin, 33, the longest in the Cape. Mark Laird, 24 games, the second longest in the Cape. Neither of those guys will be caught with just 3 games left, but very deserving players of the game tonight. So before we sign off, James, as always, closing thoughts.
Closing thoughts. Unreal atmosphere tonight at Dorn Park tonight. Be surprised if when I look at point streak after this ball game there weren't 2,000 or 3,000 in here. Unbelievable crowd. Seemed like they were into every pitch. You know, strike 3 wasn't called. They were into it. Broken bats. You heard oohs and ahs. And great crowd at Dorn Park. Hopefully continue that into the playoffs.
The Bourne Braves improved to 25-15-1 with the 6-2 win over the Orleans Firebirds. Just 3 games left on the regular season. Tomorrow night they go down to Chatham Veterans Field to take on the Anglers. Ryan Kellogg, it's the end of an era. His final start as a Bourne Brave. Second season with the Braves. Manager Harvey Shapiro will not see him in the playoffs, so a big outing for Ryan Kellogg. Stay tuned. That's all coming tomorrow night at Veterans Field, but that does it for us here at Durham Park. The Braves 6-2 victors over the Orleans Firebirds. Thanks so much for watching Tomahawk Talk.
Go Braves!